This is a question that, believe it or not, of course, Ross gets asked all the time. And I have no answer for that. Do you want to run all of those houses, or do you want to run a tiny little cool box fridge and a couple of light bulbs on your little trailer saver?
It's a really simple answer.
Is it?
The biggest you can fit.
That's true, because it will still won't be enough, as we'll see at the end of this. So, first of all, we have to do this exercise. This exercise isn't necessarily to answer that question, but we really should have a stock take and inventory of what our consumption is. It's what is happening in the designer's office of the boat being built, in order to appoint battery bank sizes, alternator sizes, wind generators, solar panels, hydro generators, even diesel generators, to know that we're going to recover it for the manner in which you're planning to use it. You can have the boat as the same as you can, we can all own the same exact boat, and you understand we will all use it in our own separate ways. Out of the marina, over to Islington Bay, one night, come home, plug back into the shore power, go away for 2 weeks. That's like 70% of those boats, if they're installed. Do they need any solar panels? No, none. My van that I owned in the UK, that I basically lived in for about a third of the year, because all the rest of the time I was delivering boats, I didn't even bother with any I had a complete living set up in the back, no separate house battery, no solar panel, no nothing. Just the LEDs and the phone charging socket straight off the vehicle batteries. I never spent more than one night ever anywhere. And I start the engine in the morning and I go to the next place. Yeah? So I don't need any of this extraneous equipment, it's just expense. The manner in which I use it is also got a huge amount to do with this. Okay? So I've got a fridge, and on the back of it, it says it's on for 8 hours. It draws 8 amps. Now then, the actual number over here, good luck. Summer versus winter, passage making rammed full of stuff versus a weekend away with a couple of bottles of wine in. All sorts of variables, all right? And there's no real way to actually come up with an answer for this other than what I've just done there. It's on for about half the time.
So 8 amps is that over an hour?
Yeah, so that's what we're then going to do to get how long is the tank going to last.
Right.
Yeah?
Right, yeah.
And what I'm going to do, I have, this is not comprehensive, it's the points I want to talk to, because there's some slightly off the beaten track thoughts about how we use all of this gear, right? So fridge, that guy is almost certainly in your off-grid, you're on off-grid installation, you're off the biggest power consumer of nearly every installation ever built. All right? So bear in mind, that's why we'll go to the length of putting a 24-volt system in, or even a 48-volt system in, and the entire rest of the boat running on voltage droppers to get back to 12 volts so that we can have a car radio and a VHF.
Because it's making the fridge more efficient because it's using less.
Your batteries on.
It's making the tank last longer.
Yes.
There's also something about recovery, and I can recover my lead acid battery set quicker by upping the voltage because I can shove more amps through the same size cable.
So just put it right, if I had two exactly the same batteries running exactly the same fridge, one was a 12 volt, one was 24, the same battery on the 24 would last much longer than it would on the 12.
Yes.
Right, okay.
We'll come to see that technically that's not exactly how it works, but yes, that is the answer to that is the principle.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
This here, that's actually quite a big number. It's about right for a screen upstairs, a screen downstairs, and a couple of 3 repeater screens. Yeah? That's about the right number. And look what happens when I times that number by all of the hours in the day on passage. And that's then repeated again down here of a minuscule amount of I plug my phone into the USB outlet, I can now draw up to 2,000 milliamps out of my iPhones and big Android phones. All right, and I've it's only on charge for 4. How many? That's one device. Now you take 4 mates with you, and one of them likes taking pictures and videos. And then they've got to download it onto their computer because their storage devices don't last very long. The storage cards.
So you just don't invite that guy.
Then you've got no lovely movies to put on Instagram so you can impress your friends.
Exactly perfect.
And then you've asked
Tell me about your family.